This is SLY. So coming to you with another vlog. Just once again, this is stuff that's just coming off my mind, and just I wanted to spout out and let you guys know what's going on in my life and how I'm feeling. Today I'm feeling a little beat up, mainly because just a lot of the things I've been seeing on the social medias and the interwebs. Social medias and interwebs, what the fuck? And it's just been a major problem I'm noticing. This happened to me last week. The whole "you act pretty white for a black guy" kind of comment. It's bothered me for some time, and it's not because, oh my gosh, he's black but he acts white. It's just this fact that we have to identify people by their skin colors because the way they talk and the way they act. And I've noticed that more and more as these activist groups are trying to tell us that we need to do more things for our culture and our history. Well, here's what I'm going to say to that. I disagree with you. A whole 110% I disagree with you, because the reason being is you should be able to do what you want to do. Act your way. Walk down the path that you want to walk down. And if you feel that you are being told otherwise, you should be breaking away from that. You know, I see these things about how black people are being oppressed. That's bullshit. I'll get back to that later, but that's bullshit. I'm seeing things where African American men are targets for a lot of these things. Okay, I can see the argument with that. That's a half and half. I can see the argument with that. The last thing should be on anybody's mind is the way I talk, the way I act, and the way I look. I know people judge people by the way they are. They look, you know, just for a second they think that, you know, this is how they act until they actually meet them. The problem that I'm having is with a lot of these activists, these groups that are telling you you need to follow this way, you need to follow being in a hive mind rather than thinking outside the box. Now, some of these activists are at least trying to do good things, while the crappy ones are covering them up in the smorgasbord of overthrow the white man and take down people, which I still don't understand. How you can be so hateful when we're trying to teach each other that we need to be accepting and loving of each other. I have yet to understand people like this, and I have yet to understand groups like this. My biggest problem with activism and a lot of these people, and me being a black man that acts white, is that everybody was raised differently. Everybody was raised in a different way, taught a different way, so on and so forth. I was an Air Force brat, luckily traveled the world with my folks, and got to meet a lot of different interesting people, a lot of different cultures, and got to understand a lot of things about the world itself. And it was, you know, secretly a blessing to do such a thing, because you get to meet these different cultures, you get to meet these different people, and you get an understanding of where people are coming from. And so, you know, I didn't really grow up rough, dealing with anything bad. Really, I did most of the bad things to myself in my later years, but, you know, once again, we didn't have to scrounge around for anything. We didn't have to, you know, suffer. I don't, you know, if I were to write an autobiography of my story, it really would be like, I had it pretty easy. You know, there were some ups and downs inside the family matters, but past that, it was pretty easy. So when I get people telling me that, you know, you're not black enough, and the funny thing is, these are coming from activist members. So you're talking about your hashtag, you know, Black Lives Matter groups and stuff like that. These toxic groups that are jokes, in my personal opinion. They're jokes. Hashtag Black Lives Matter is a joke. It is a joke. It is one of the biggest jokes ever since, I don't know, Seinfeld. You're being told that you're not black enough, you're not cultured enough, you're not understanding enough about your people and everything. Here's the thing. We have moved on to a level of being almost on that playing field. No, not even almost. We are on that playing field with other races. Why do you think other races are so envious of us sometimes? Why do you think they envy some of the things that we have created and we have, spawned and born out of our culture? There's a reason why. So it's not the fact that we're being oppressed. We're doing this to ourselves. And then we want to blame everybody else besides ourselves. That is the same way with most activist groups. They do it to themselves. And then they want to blame the world for their problems. They do it to themselves. They shoot themselves in the foot. And then they want to blame the world. They don't want to blame themselves. They want to blame everybody else. And that is the problem I have with hashtag Black Lives Matters group that are trying to tell me that I'm not acting black enough for them. No, I'm not gonna follow that trend. I've had a problem with this for years, not just with the hashtag Black Lives Matters group. It's the SJWs as well. The SJWs tell me that I need to be acting a certain way, spouting it that we need to find equality, but you have to act this way. You have to think this way to find equality. No, that's not how this works. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody speaks. Going back to the hashtag Black Lives Matters movement. Example, you're for all Black lives, or whatever the movement is, the toxic movement that is this group. Why when a white man, a Caucasian man, white, cis, straight, male, shoots a African American, everybody goes crazy. But when a African American shoots a white man, no parades, no marches, no blocking traffic. What is the justification of equality? I don't understand it. And I don't think a lot of people understand it, because if they did, this would not be a problem today. It is not because of another group of race of people are trying to oppress you. Now, don't get me wrong. The ISIS still exists. ISIS exists. The ISIS do still exist. That's plain and simple. They really do. The racism, the racist, the sexist, the misogynistic, they exist. That's true as day. But the people that are not that way, the ones that are just giving an opinion about how stupid you're being, and they're not racist, or they're not misogynistic, or they're not sexist or homophobic or whatever, you label them as a alt-right, MAGA-wearing, neo-Nazi, tyrannical dictator, and all that stuff. Don't get me wrong. Before I continue more of my videos, I want to make this super clear. I am not for the right, but I am sure as hell not for the left. I am a person that believes you need to get both sides of the story before you go out and judge someone. And if you don't, you look like a fool rather than everybody else. Plain and simple. Why is this so hard to grasp? Why can't more people grasp this and put this in their head and say, look, this is what it's about. Yes, I am an African American male that loves comic books. I love comic books. I love anime. I love video games. I love to sing in a rock band. I don't really listen to a lot of rap and hip hop. It's not because I don't enjoy it, it's just because it just doesn't pertain to me. I listen to the Deftones, Slipknot, System of a Down, Ramones. I listen to Alice in Chains. I listen to music that I like. And I listen to sometimes original soundtracks from Hans Zimmer, Alan Silverstein, all those guys, and Yoko Kano, famous for doing the soundtrack for Cowboy Bebop. I listen to that kind of stuff. I like to be different. If I feel like I have to be with everybody else and I have to follow a path that does not feel right to me, why am I going to follow that path? It doesn't make any sense to me. And if you're feeling that as well, I want you to know you're not alone. You're not. You're really not. And don't let anybody else, don't let these SJWs, don't let these idiots, and they are, I'm sorry, you guys are idiots, tell you otherwise. There is defending people, and there is pandering to those people. What you guys are doing, you are pandering to a group of people that you do not understand yourself. But you claim you do. And I don't understand why. And I still don't. Maybe I never will. But what I'm trying to say, and I do apologize for saying the SJWs are idiots. You guys are people that mean well, but you guys are doing it in a way that is not wise. Idiot is not the word I should have used in that statement. It should be, you guys are not thinking smartly about what you guys are doing. To help people, to truly help people, you must understand them. Don't just throw on your cape, your little cape, and try to go just save everybody. Because that's not how it works. I've seen this so many times. Remember back in the day, Coney, 2012? Remember Coney? Oh, okay, you guys don't remember Coney. Coney was the guy that was doing all this bad stuff in Africa. And everybody just lost it. They just lost their mind. Facebook was going crazy. And I actually sat down and asked one of my friends at the time, did she know anything about this person? And she said, no, but he was doing bad things. I understand the sentiment, but you're fighting a war that you're not even understanding yourself. And that's what was going on today. We are fighting wars that we don't understand what is going on in our own borders. And we refuse to figure it out. We refuse to actually reach out and talk to other people about it. And that is a problem. And if you feel that it's not a problem, I guess congratulations. Everybody is entitled to their opinion, like I said before. But don't be surprised when I disagree with you. Do what you feel is right. Walk your own path. Even though I'm upset about, people call me the whitest black guy, because I don't think labels are necessary. I seriously still don't, tying back to that whole white shooting African or average shooting white. I think people don't understand that the media is trying to turn us against each other. They're trying to rip us apart from the inside. There's no need for labels. There's no need for labels at all. There's none. If you actually sit down and read a newspaper article or read a news article and you see the keywords like what they put is black or something, instead of putting young man or gentleman or not gentleman. I'm tired. Young man or person or something like that along those lines, you could see that the article changes from this racist hit piece to actually telling the news. But that's just me. That's my feelings. Do I enjoy still being called the whitest black person? I hate it, but I don't mind it. Is it gonna drive me crazy? No. But it does beat the other words that my African American brethren have called me in the past because I have disagreed with a thought of their own. So, that's my thoughts. That's my vlog for today. I hope you guys are having a great rest of your day. Please keep that head above water. Keep your dreams alive. I will always say that to you because I love you so much. And I will talk to you later. Okay. Bye-bye.